Lithography is the process of printing in which ink is applied to a damp stone. The greasy ink does not stick to any wet areas and only the area of the image which has been etched with chemicals. First, we will grain the stone and make sure it is polished and level. To grain the stone, we will coat it with water, apply grit to the stone, starting with 80 strength grit and then 120, 180, and finally 220. Using the levigator, we will sand down the stone 3 times per grit strength. In order to make sure the stone is level, place pieces of paper on each corner. Lay a steel bar or level across the stone and check to see if any pieces of paper are loose. If they are loose, that side is lower than the rest and you should grain accordingly. At this point, we are ready to draw our image onto the stone. When drawing on the stone, we use special lithography crayons. Remember not to touch the stone because the grease from your hands can affect the outcome of the print, and any image that you draw is going to be in reverse once you print it. Once our image is drawn, we must coat the stone with talc powder in order to set the image onto the stone and keep it from smearing during the etching process. The first stage of the etching process is referred to as a gum etch. We simply massage gum arabic onto the stone for 5 minutes and then wipe it down with cheesecloth. After massaging the stone with just gum arabic, we will now add a small amount of nitric acid to the gum arabic and coat the stone with it. We will massage the stone with it 3 times for 3 minutes, starting with 2 drops of nitric acid to 1 ounce of gum arabic, and adding 2 more drops each time we repeat the process. This will etch the drawing into the stone, ensuring that you get a perfect print. After the gum arabic massage, we will coat the stone with lithotrene, asphaltum, or a greasy printing ink and then wipe it down with water. Make sure to wear a mask and gloves when handling chemicals such as lithotrene. We will apply it into a rag and wipe the stone. This erases the litho crayon markings, leaving a ghosted image of our content. We will then coat the stone with lithography ink or asphaltum to flood ink into the image, replacing the grease from the crayon. Afterwards, coat the stone with water and wipe it down. After the law process, let your stone dry for at least 20 minutes. While the stone is drying, we can start mixing the color of ink that we want to use for our prints. Using a palette knife, scoop ink onto a smooth surface and mix different pigments together until satisfied. After letting our stone rest, we will repeat the gum arabic massage with and without nitric acid and the law process. When performing the law process for our second time, we will use the ink that we plan on printing with rather than asphaltum. Now it is time to roll up our stone with ink. When inking our stone, we will wet the stone and wipe away excess water so that the stone is damp. We do this so that the greasy ink sticks to only the image area and not the damp negative space. Roll ink onto the stone and let dry slightly. You are now ready to print. Once we're ready to print, we will place the stone on the bed and place paper on top of the stone. Place a few extra pieces of paper for padding. Then we will lay a sheet of Timpin, a slick plastic, on top. Coat the Timpin with some grease for ease of printing and roll the bed so the bottom of the stone is underneath the scraper bar. We then lower the lever, which lowers the scraper bar until it meets the Timpin. Turn the crank so that the scraper bar glides from the bottom of the stone to the top. Raise the lever and roll the bed to its original position, and finally remove the Timpin and reveal your print.